Hello guys, it's Anthony from getoveryourexgirlfriend.com. Breakup advice for men without the bullshit, and welcome to chapter 6 of the breakup guide, the no contact rule, part 1. The no contact rule is absolutely vital in order to heal after a breakup, and if ignored can seriously halt your goal of moving on. Part 1 of this guide examines and explains the very few exceptions to the no contact rule. Now, I have devoted a substantial amount on this often controversial subject for a reason. I believe it's where a lot of guys go wrong, and it's the absolute golden rule of surviving a breakup. So let's assume that you're the one that's being dumped and you've lost all kind of dignity after failing to try and win her back, or maybe you've broken up with her, and although you know it's for the best, you find yourself hanging on or hanging out with her and it's doing you no favours. Well, the no contact rule is when you completely cut yourself off from your ex and cut her out of your life. The two variations of no contact rule are: number 1, informing your ex that you won't be contacting her anymore and that they shouldn't contact you. Number 2, cut off contact with your ex, don't tell them, and ignore any efforts of them contacting you. Now that might sound childish, the second one, but this is completely circumstantial, and we'll elaborate on that later on. This is completely up to you which one you are going to use, should you choose to use one. Now, as I said, this is a somewhat controversial subject that some guys won't even entertain, and I'm sure it will lead to the word "but" being used in abundance. But you don't understand. But she's my friend. She's my best friend. But I need her. But she needs me. And the list goes on. Enough of this already. I'll explain in further detail the pros and cons of no contact in the next chapter, but first I will discuss the very few delicate exceptions to this usually integral rule. The exceptions to the no contact rule. You and your ex-girlfriend have children together. Now, in an ideal world, you could just disappear off the face of the earth because you only have your own feelings to consider. Unfortunately, this is not an ideal world, and if you have children, it's a much trickier situation. If you have little ones' feelings to consider, don't bring the kids into this and don't use them as a pawn in any sick kind of game. What I mean by that is, if you've ended badly with your ex, don't use the children as a weapon against each other. You're better than that, and you don't need to do that. Tell your ex something like, "Look, I know this isn't an ideal situation, but I think it'd be better if we only contact each other if it concerns our child or children," or something of that variant. Say it with confidence and without bitterness. If she's unreasonable, then that's her problem. Be the better man and you'll be thankful for it later on. You work with her. Well, that doesn't sound much fun. If it's not the job of your dreams, then why not do an intense job hunt? You'll have a double fresh start and a new distraction, not to mention a change of environment. And if it is the job of your dreams, stay professional and never talk about your former relationship with your ex, and spend as little time as possible together. Another exception to the no contact rule, unfortunately, is you have shared financial responsibilities. Whatever it is, mortgage, car payments, or credit card debts, you must act immediately. Don't let it draw out. Attack it before it becomes too much of an issue. You might need to meet up if you are required to sign papers and all the rest, and it's best you do it sooner rather than later. I personally finally learnt this lesson after my last breakup, and I sorted out everything financial fast, and then I implemented the no contact rule. It made things substantially easier. Well, that's the end of the exceptions, I'm afraid. If you don't qualify for any of the above, then I'm afraid the no contact rule is absolutely compulsory for you. So, are you up for it? Well, you better be, because going ex-girlfriend cold turkey is something that requires 100% downright commitment. The no contact rule can be a very complex subject, so I have devoted a second part which will act as a reinforcement of the importance of no contact and answer the many questions that you might have on the no contact rule. Thank you for your time, guys. If you're listening from my site www.getoveryourexgirlfriend.com, please do not move on to the next chapter until you've read each chapter and also completed the relevant exercises, as these are the most important parts of the guide. Thanks for listening, guys, and keep that chin up.